Hey guys, it's Mary and welcome back to Study Journey. Welcome back to the Python series. This is episode 13 of the word game, and in today's episode we're going to be understanding play game and then also writing the first helper function. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Now we're going to open PS3.2, and in here we can see if we open the instructions we can go to problem 6, which is where we left off, and problem 6 is playing a game. So it states that we have to implement the substitute hand and play game functions according to their specifications. For the game, you should use a hand size constant to determine the number of letters in a game. And so we're trying to basically implement it so that the hand size is changeable, so we can change to however big we want the hand to be. So if we open ps3.py, here is what they have for us. So if we look to playing a game, we can see that there is going to be the substitute hand function that we had to do. And it says that this will allow the user to replace all copies of one letter in the hand with the new hand chosen from the vowels and consonants at random. And the letter should be different from the user's choice and should not be any of the letters already in the hand. If the user provides a letter not in the hand, then the hand should be the same. And there's no side effects, so it does not mutate the hand. So for example, if there's one H, one E, two L's, and one O, then it might return this if the new letter is X. So if we're going to go and we're going to open what we have, so it's the word game. I'm going to move it to the side. So now we have to implement the substitute hand. So I'm going to copy the beginning of substitute hand over. And here are the instructions for it. So before we do substitute hand, we have to write helper functions. Because if we're trying to substitute a hand, we have to first know what are the available letters in the hand, and also what the letters in the hand are. So the letters in the hand are the letters that are already in the hand, and the available letters are the letters that are not already in the hand. So before we do substitute hand, we're going to write a helper function. So before it, I'm going to write the helper function letters in hand. And the parameter for this function, if we're trying to find the letters in the hand, well, we're trying to get it from the hand, so we have to use hand as a parameter. So for this, first we're trying to find the letters in the hand. So in the beginning, let's say hand letter be blank. So there's nothing in it yet. And basically for every letter in the hand, right now in the hand keys, we're going to update the hand letter so that there's all the letters in the hand. So how we're going to do this is for letter in hand dot keys, for J in range, because we already used I, the next one would have to be J. For J in range, hand letter. So for each letter in the hand, and this is basically saying for every letter, we're going to update the hand letter to consist of what it already has plus the letter. And after this, we should be able to return the hand, or return hand letter, we should be able to return hand letter, and it should consist of all of the letters that we already have. So now that we have the letters in hand, we have to get the available letters, or the letters that are not in the hand already. So I'm going to get another helper function, and I'm going to name it get available letters. And the parameter for this function we're trying to get the available letters, which is all the letters in the alphabet that are not in letters in hand. So the parameter will be letters in hand because we must know which letters are already in the hand to determine what the available letters are. Now that we have this, first, just like we did above, we're going to set available letter to an empty string. We're going to set available letter to something that is empty. And we're going to be updating available letter so that it will consist of all of the available letters, or all of the letters in the alphabet that are not in letters in hand. So basically for every letter in the lowercase alphabet, so that would be strings dot ASCII underscore lowercase. So for every letter in all of the lowercase letters in the alphabet, if the letter is not in letters in hand, so if the letter is not in what is defined above, so if letter not in letters in hand, then we're going to update available letters. So as we can see, in the beginning, available letter was something that is empty. And for every letter that was not in the letters in hand and it is a lowercase letter, then we're going to update it so that it is an available letter. So we're going to update available letter to consist of what it already has. So available letter in addition to the letter that is not in letters in hand. So plus letter. And now that we have this, we can return available letter. So basically, this helper function is all of the lowercase letters in the alphabet that are not in letters in hand. And remember, we define letters in hand and get available letters so that we could write substitute hand. So if we go to the instructions, as we can see right here, to implement substitute hand and the play game functions according to the specifications, remember, we want to not assume that there's always 7 letters in it. So if we look at our code right here, so this was ps3.py, and in their instructions, it states that allow the user to replace all copies of one letter in the hand with a new letter chosen from vowels and consonants at random. So this is the letters that are not in the hand, or get available letters. So from get available letters, that is where they can choose from. And how we know that? Well, we have to see what are the letters already in the hand. One letter in the hand. So one of these letters, which letter can they replace? Well, it's going to be from letters in hand. So now that we have each of these helper functions, we can actually write substitute hand. So as it says in the instructions right here, for substitute hand, we're going to allow the user to replace all copies of one letter in the hand chosen by a user with a new letter chosen from the vowels and consonants at random. The new letter should be different from user's choice and should not be any of the letters already in the hand. So this is why we wrote the two helper functions, letters in hand and get available letters. So first we had to look at the fact that the new letter should not be any of the letters already provided in the hand. So what are the letters already in the hand? Well, that's letters in hand. And the new letter, where can they choose a new letter from? Well, it is the vowels and consonants at random that are not already in the hand, which is what we did with get available letters. So get available letters provides all of the available letters that the user can choose from when they are going to replace one of the vowels or consonants that are already in the hand. So how we can write this code is, first we have to make a copy of our hand. So I'm going to name it new hand, and it's going to be hand.copy. Remember, we've done this before. We have to copy the hand so that we do not change any of it, because as it says, there is no side effects and it does not mutate the hand. So we have to make a copy of the hand to make sure that we don't change the original hand. Now, I'm going to get the possible letters. So what are the possible letters that the user can choose from to replace the letters that is already in the hand? Well, that's going to be, I'm going to name it possible letter, and that is going to be get available letters. And what are we getting the available letters from? Well, it is the letters in the hand. So letters in hand, that was our parameter. And in this scenario, what are the letters in the hand? Like, where are we getting the letters in the hand from? Well, we're getting it from our current hand. As we can see, the parameter for letters in hand is the hand. And our hand right now is going to be called new hand. So our parameter for this is new hand. Now that we define possible letter, we have to find the substitute letter. So what is the substitute letter? Well, it is any one of the letters in possible letters. So I'm going to define substitute letter, and that is going to be just any random letter from possible letters. So I'm going to do random.choice, and this is going to randomize the selection of whatever the parameter is. And in this case, the parameter is going to be the possible letter. So now that we have the substitute letter, we have to update the new hand. So our new hand is going to replace one of the letters with the substitute letter. So our new hand is going to consist substitute letter dot lower, because make sure they're all in lowercase, or else it is not going to see the uppercase A and lowercase a as the same letter, even though they are. And this, well, we're going to go from new hand.get. So in the new hand, we're going to get a letter dot lower, letter dot lower with 0. So now that we have this is going to be the new hand. And from this new hand, as we can see, we got the first letter from letter.lower, and that is index of 0. So from this letter, we're going to replace it with the substitute hand, and that is going to be the letter.lower. So I'm going to update the new hand to consist of the letter dot lower as 0. And now that we have this, we can return the new hand. So in this episode, we started writing substitute hand, and right now we don't really know if this code is going to work. So in the next episode, we're actually going to test out our code and see if it actually works.